In the heart of the city, where dreams come alive, BWatts on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. But through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in this sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, BWatts tells the story.
What's going on, family? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You watching Sports Talk with BWatts on a Thursday evening. Want to say hello to everybody who's tuning in right now. Only thing I ask that to do, hit that like button as you come in. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live or drop a video. And also, if you would like to continue to support the broadcast through Cash App, Super Chats, or just by joining the membership, anything that you do that help this broadcast to continue to grow would be highly appreciated. All right. Hey, tonight, we're gonna talk about it. I know y'all want to talk about it. I'm not you already know, but we're gonna talk about it. Was the NFL collusion behind Shedeur Sanders draft day slide? I got Greg said it tonight, and we're gonna get his side of the story. And we hope y'all follow along with us and support us during this broadcast. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in right now. Appreciate each one of you. Once again, hit the like button. Just hit that like button. Hit that like button. And if you don't mind, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast with anyone. All right. Want to say hello to DJH. What's going on? Miss Sabrina Walter is in the building. We appreciate it. My dog herself. I love CC. Appreciate it. Reverend Nelson. Always a pleasure, sir. My dog. FD. What's going on? How you feeling? Thank you for rocking with me tonight. C sister. What's up? You doing all right? What's going on? Appreciate you for rocking with me. Wang Hood, what's up, my dog? What's going on with you, man? You said you went out this morning, bro. Day one. Get it off the ship. I believe in my dog. That's why I say day one and game one. Hey, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I ain't gonna leave you hanging. Salute. What's going on, Tim? How you feeling? Appreciate you for joining the broadcast tonight, man. Really do. Miss Crystal Wise Williams. I see you. OFB. What's going on? Appreciate you tonight. I really do. Thank you for stopping by. Well, let me bring up Greg City, and we're going to get into this thing, all right? All right, family. What's up, Danny? What's going on? How you doing? Val C. What's up? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Waiting on Greg. What's up, Tim? Danny, what's going on? Once again, like I say, there's a lot of talk out there, y'all, about this collusion thing, and I just want to hear from somebody else their opinion. You hear it on the internet, you seen it on YouTube. I saw the video that my boy did, G. Bush, and he was boy, he broke that thing down pretty good and everything. But I can hear Greg, but I don't see him. So, oh, okay, he was eating. All right, I called him at a bad time.
Done.
What's going on? How was your day, bro?
I know you hear me today.
Yeah, what you done did?
Man, I don't know, man. I think your stream y'all was hating last week. Decided to do his own thing and change the settings on my computer.
Hey, mine. Hey, I had to check mine every day. It changed mine every day, man. Every time I log on, they don't did something to it.
They acting like.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But bro, I ain't gonna hold you long. Give me about 50 minutes of your time. Let you get back to your family and whatever you got going on. But like I was saying, bro, there's a lot of stuff out there that they talking about it. I think you don't hit it on a couple times since this draft have taken place. And there's some stories out there, people doing they giving they take on their podcast. And I just want to ask you one question. Do you think the NFL had some kind of collusion behind the Shedeur Sanders draft slide?
Well, since they said they want me to be petty, I love CC say she want. That's what I see. She want me to be petty. I don't know. I feel like I said it from the beginning. People were mad. As soon as that draft happened, I said these folks ain't done. These folks ain't done. What is it? I was saying Miss M's in NY Finals. All right, she got a thing going. Okay. Chat more on Sunday. Okay. Yeah. When that thing first hit, I said, man, there's no way these folks did all that. And it just, that was this good little hazing and it's over with. And here we are months later trying to figure out if the man gonna get first team reps and they gonna cut him and all these different things. It's like I think it was clear. The message was clear because I don't think they would have went through all that to kind of just let him back. Let him back into good graces. Like I don't think they're done until they're done. I think the only protection that Shedeur would have at this point is, people like us who buy the product, who support the teams, and having a big enough voice to be like, you look here, we ain't got to watch this mess, and we ain't gonna watch it. But I'm thinking they made it clear from the very beginning that they had something. It was a plan. It clearly was a plan. And I think it was G. Bush might have said something that I said a long time ago. I said, my conspiracy theory is when Coach Prime made that comment a long time ago, I think it was about Cleveland. I'm sure when he said there were certain teams he don't want to see, I think it was about Cleveland. Because I thought it was originally about New York, but then I was like, Shedeur was wearing the cleats. He was pushing for New York. He was pushing. He was thinking he was going to New York. And I was like, why would he want to go to New York? Because to me, they ain't no better, as far as what they done and the weather and all that. But it is New York, right? But then I'm thinking like it's a bigger market.
Right.
But Cleveland is a small market. They own all their quarterbacks out. They don't win nothing really. They have a good year every now and then. It's very sporadic. They not nobody checking for to be in the playoff year in year out. They might sneak in every now and then, but they not in that conference. Like nobody's checking for them. So when I saw that, okay, they did all that, and I really believe, like he said, and I said a long time ago, it was designed for Cleveland to be the only team to touch him. when they gave them, they're okay. You touch them when you want to touch them, because we're gonna make an example out of them. At the end of the day, you're gonna go to the team we told you to go to. Since you told us you ain't going, you're gonna go exactly where we want you to go, and everybody else gonna step off. You know, that's what it is. I think that he went to the team, and I don't think that's far fetched though. I don't think it's far fetched that an organization like the NFL wants to be in control. I don't think it's far fetched about, you know, the teams kind of being what they call scripted. I don't think it's far fetched at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, because I've been a conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, in a lot of ways for a long time. And the NFL was one of those things that I've known about, and I've seen some weird stuff. And unfortunately, people don't realize a lot of the stuff that happens is controlled at that quarterback position. I've seen some games get thrown
Right
by the quarterback. I mean, thrown, literally thrown. Some of the games we look at, we've been scratching our heads. Some Super Bowls, we know, you know, you might didn't put it together, but that's what you were looking at, like throwing an interception on the 1 yard line at the Super Bowl when the game over, you know, stuff like that. You know, some weird interceptions at the wrong time, some people just diving at midair and making the game in. Like with that, what was that year that Minnesota? What was that Minnesota miracle? I watched the replay. The man that dove in the air like he was tackling the ghost. You know, you see some weird stuff. Of course, the referees play calling. You see some weird stuff. I mean, but what can you say? What can you say? It is a NFL production. It has some control to it. If politics can be controlled for the most part, if you know, I think that when you got people like that with that kind of money, and I don't know what other agendas they have, I think at the end of the day, they're gonna want to control their product. They're gonna want to control that product. So it is what it is. That's why I don't put them past it. You know, I don't put them past it.
Right.
How they treated him, because at the end of the day, I'm just gonna say something really crazy to some people. You know, if Shedeur's gonna be a starting quarterback in the NFL, they let him know straight up, you got to be on the same page with us. You don't do your own thing. Ask Michael Vick. That's how his career got railroaded. That whole dog fighting and all that. We in Atlanta. We know all the folks who's around that, and you know, if it was really about that, some other folks would have went down. He wasn't even really like the man like that. But it was some things that he was doing that they didn't like. He was on the cover of Madden. He was all that. He was the man. He was the face of the NFL, but he wasn't down with it like that. You see how different he was when he came out of jail. His whole attitude, his whole lingo, it was like what they wanted. It was like, yes, sir. Well, I'm glad you give me. Right. He wasn't like that before. Michael Vick wasn't like, we in Atlanta. Michael Vick wasn't like that. Michael Vick was like, you know, whatever. I'm the man. Whatever. I do what I want. He was barely practicing. He was just partying. He was just, and then they'll make it be like, oh, he wasn't taking his job serious. Yeah, that's how they'll dress it up. But when you in that type of position, you got to be down with the cause at that quarterback position. And unfortunately for Shedeur, yeah, they're gonna make an example out of him at that position more than any position, because he cannot. If they would, okay, I'm gonna say something crazy. If they need him to throw the game, he got to throw it. If they need that to happen, he got to do it. No mouth, no hint, no nothing. He just got to do it. And if you show any signs that you like, I'm my own man, I'm on my own destiny or whatever. If you that kind of dude, show me any quarterback in the NFL that they ain't have to let they know. Matter of fact, show me in politics, show me in the music industry, show me in the movie industry, that anybody who buck, how they don't make a little public skeptical out of you a little bit. It's all entertainment. I mean, football is
what? You said they gonna throw. You say he gonna. Greg. You say he gonna throw a game.
He gonna have to.
Wow.
Who ain't?
What?
Brett, I don't seen Brett Favre do it. I don't seen Peyton Manning. I don't seen them do it.
I'm talking about that. When you said throw a game, that means they tried to
Like
lose.
step back and
They
throw that
had to
ball
lose.
straight to the man. He walking in the end zone. Game over. You ain't going to the Super Bowl. like that. Like that was weird. He just stepped back and threw it straight to the man. It was no way he could have did. No way he didn't see him. His man way over there. He just whoop and end the game. I don't see it with my own eyes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you back in the day, YouTube wasn't like it is now. Right now, YouTube, you gotta use code and all that. And every area used to be like politics and certain stuff you talk about, you better not talk about whatever, conspiracy, whatever. Now it's everything. Like you can't use certain words, you can't, but back in the day, the YouTube back in the day, about 20 years ago, when it first came out, you used to see some stuff. They used to show some stuff. So hey man, you can't follow it and you can't follow. We very much on a very much. I'm just maybe some people it's too shallow, but I'm giving you a extended complete answer. How far this thing can go. It can go further, it's if you can't handle what I just said, you sure can't handle what I really could say.
Wow.
That's the deeper part.
DJ H got a question. DJ H got a comment right here. He said, do y'all think that the Browns would prevent Shedeur from playing at all? What you think about that?
I mean, I don't put nothing past him. I don't put nothing past him at the end of the day. I mean, because are you're not in control over what they do. You wasn't in control of what they did. If it was purely about football, which we clearly know, we all got theories on what it is. Well, it's his dad. Well, his interview. Well, he cocky. It's a lot of theories out there on why, what it is. But at the end of the day, I mean, it wasn't about football. It wasn't about football. So,
yeah.
Some people can't handle the truth. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you what it's gonna be for him or not. You can't either. So people can just shut up with that, because it's like none of us know, but we know the tone of it. We know the energy behind it. It ain't right. Like, why is we going into July? Still like, saying what we said in April. The man went out there and showed he can play football. Have you not? Went out there and went almost 80%? The same way he did his whole career. So it ain't like it's not consistent with his whole career from the day he stepped on the college football team. His whole career, he has been mid-70. He's throwing 30+ touchdowns a year, upper 3,000 to 4,000 consistently. Oh, he can't do it at the FBS level. He did it at FBS level in 2 different conferences. No offensive line at all. So you can't say, oh, he got a weak arm. He got this, he got that. Okay, but with that, he got a weak arm. He's still throwing 4,000 yards a year. And it's mid-70% every year. So, okay, who cares what kind of arm he got? He can have a noodle arm. He's still outdoing you. So, what are you really looking at? I mean, because he don't done it at JSU. He don't done it at Colorado, 2 different conferences. He don't came in minicamp and did it with the 4th string. People say, oh, that's just the 4th string. They could have dropped the ball too and messed up his percentages. So it says a lot about his ball placement, how catchable his ball is, that he had a less quality, less inferior talent, and he still had the same numbers. But nobody talk about that. I didn't have Judy catching my ball. I didn't have the top 10 on the team catching my ball, and I'm still throwing there 80%. I'm still throwing more touchdowns than you. So yeah, it you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's all he could do at the end of the day. All he could do is do what he can do. But I'm telling you, at this level, he ain't got no control. He don't have now bit of control of how they treated him. Because I don't think if it was up to him, I don't think he would have been in this situation. He would have been $40-50 million richer. He would have been first team, like all his homeboys who he been training and competing against and hanging with. Everybody in his circle. How he said, you say birds of a feather flock together. Everybody in my circle first rounders. We all hang out. And somehow I'm a fifth rounder. I'm a chicken. I'm with Eagles. You know, it's like Shedeur hanging with Cam Ward for what, at least 3 years, going toe to toe. Travis Hunter. He brought Travis Hunter from high school with him. And the biggest slap they got is, you ain't as good as your homeboys you've been running with. All y'all had first round dreams. I'm going to take yours. For whatever reason we can come up with. I'm going to take yours.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, why do I take your dream? You can throw the little skin color crap out. People talk all that crap, but they the first one to say that and contradict yourself. Because the last time I checked, Travis Hunter's black as he can be, and so is Cam. So you throw that out. They got their first round. What is the difference between him and them? Cam Ward played the same position. Could it be that they feel like I can control them a little more? Could it be you ain't come from money? You want this money more than he do. So you probably do some things. Don't question it. You probably do some things. Right?
Wow.
Versus somebody who don't need it. They might buck. They might be like, man, I ain't doing that. I don't need to do anything you say. I got to let you know, this ain't how we doing it around here. It is almost like, I'm gonna say something. I don't know what it's about to go, but it's almost like, check this out. It's almost like they looking at him like, your dad know better. Why he didn't tell you? It's almost like it's almost like the tone, like, your dad was in the league all these years. He done called all these games. How he ain't tell you better? You know the game. It's almost like daddy didn't want to tell you that part. You best believe Dion know what I'm talking about. These folks in chat might not, but and some of the people in the NFL might not, but he know. He know. So it's almost like, I don't know. It's almost like
you really think they target him specific in that draft?
Target who?
Shedeur. To make an example out of him.
You know what's weird about Shedeur? This was weird. I kid you not. Like last year this time, I used to catch the news saying certain stuff. They put out certain stories, like going into the season. And I'm sitting here, I did some videos on it. Y'all go back and check it out. They would say stuff like, Shedeur ain't even gonna make it in the second round. And I'm like, what? He going into his senior year. He had a great last year, but they jacked up his record 4-8. He probably should have been 8-4. So that was part. So they're already telling you that the plot was in. We watched them steal games from Colorado. You think they didn't have anything to do with the setup? So our Jizzle say, Dion didn't see it coming. You right. You know why he didn't see it coming? Because in a way, Dion thought, I'm the elite in this space. Let me break that down. When you are elite in a space, meaning like you a legend, you don't gave so much to the game. There's no way they're gonna do that to my child. There's no way that they're gonna do that to me as much as I've done for this game, as much as I've done. That's why I think Dion was coming from. And it's almost like you don't have to put that leash on me like that because I'm with y'all. That's what I think caught him off guard.
Right.
Like certain stuff everybody can't say, but I should be able to say it. You see, I should be able to say it. I think that's what hit Dion. Like, I thought we were better than that. You know how sometimes you joke with somebody and they hold on, don't talk to me like that. I thought we were better than that. I thought we knew each other better than that. I felt like you was my friend. You would say you was offended by what I said. You know, he'd be saying, why you just don't pick up the phone? That's the kind of stuff that I think been getting at Dion. Like, even with I know that he got good with Ashanti Samuels and you know, some other stuff. Some stuff like you see Chris Carter came out. I think all this stuff catching him off guard because it's like these are people who are part of the shield, so to speak. So it's almost like I'm a pioneer in this game. I feel like y'all know who I am. Y'all know I'm for this. I'm pushing everybody towards. I'm pushing my own kids towards it. Yet you still want to keep me in check. I'm one of the elite. You don't have to treat me like that down there. I feel like y'all should be able to trust me. So in a way, I feel like Dion know what's going on, but I don't feel like I think he in a way he felt like he's above the law. If that makes sense, for lack of better terms. I'm above that. I'm above the consequences and the treatment. My next generation should be good. You know, my next generation should be solid, and I think that's what he felt. And then when it's like because you think about it, all the Manning boys gonna come out first round. Peyton came out.
Okay, I'm finna get to that. Now look, I'm finna ask you that, Greg. I'm finna ask you that. Now, you think they're gonna do the same thing to that Manning boy in 2 years?
No, he gonna be first round. He gonna be first round. He come out next year this week.
So they ain't so they ain't gonna bother him.
Sure, no. Because and that's why I think Dion felt like he was in that kind of bracket. Like, my generation's good. Like, my grandkids gonna go first round. Because he gave so much to the game. Technically he should. He's invested a lot. He not only has he invested as a player, he's invested as an analyst, his narrative, his supporting a lot of the players that end up coming after him, a lot of the athletes that came in, he mentored them. He has helped the NFL by showing the next generation the ropes. So he's invested. And so when you think about, he should be like, he's a grandfather clause. I'm good. Y'all shouldn't touch me. I can't do no wrong when it comes to y'all because I'm for it. I'm not against it. So he felt like he can make comments and critique it and stuff because he felt like he was a contributor. Like, I'm making it better. And it's almost like they looked at it like he's challenging them. In a sense, when he pointed out, the NFL need to go down to the HBCU. When he was at HBCU, he was like, y'all need to come down here. Y'all ain't picking these boys up. And it's like, I think he was doing it from a place where he really meant to, he wanted it to be better. He wasn't doing it to like critique it in a way that like, I'm going to take it over. But I think in a way, his energy, his tone, or just whatever about him, I think they've been offended with them since Dion stepped foot at Jackson State, man. This stuff been in against Shedeur. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't think they even knew he was gonna end up in Colorado. See, you remember Coach Dion said, I'm finna switch the whole game up in this HBCU. I'm finna make y'all compete with all these other programs. And it's like he was really challenging the system at that point. And it was already having it set up where, man, he gonna be a fifth rounder then. So Dion and his intelligence said, you know what? I see what y'all about to set my children up. I'm gonna go ahead and look for a better opportunity. He saw the setup. He saw that setup.
Okay.
So he's like, I'm finna go ahead over here to Colorado. And I'm gonna let all of them prove it. So nobody gets screwed over. Travis can't get screwed over. Shedeur can't get screwed over. Shiloh can't get, because really Shiloh could have came out of free agent out of Jackson State, never played a down. He could have went free agent out of Jackson State,
Right.
like a lot of the other Jackson State did.
Right.
So think about that. Take your eyes off Shedeur, because that was people they narrow in the they turn them on it. When you look at Shiloh really is exposing the whole thing. Shiloh did 2 extra years. That man graduated HBCU, then played 2 more years. He could have left after his first year at Colorado. He had a good year. He led everybody in tackling. He led the team. He was one of the top in the conference. He came back another year to help his dad, really to help his draft stock, and he still went as a free agent. That if that don't prove to you, it's bigger than Shedeur. The message is to the dad. Y'all got to play by the rules. Now, somebody may say, "Oh, the Manning's white. They this, they that." Okay, you'll jump dead. You wouldn't last in court of law. It's so the NFL, all they do is draft black people every day. First round. Matter of fact, the first ones came out, all of them was black. First 4 of them. That means that's just what it is. But one thing, what you ain't saying, because that's all you want to stay on first base. The Mannings, one thing they do, I just name one of them that threw a game. I watched Peyton Manning throw games. They know they play by the book. They know how to play the game. They ain't rebellious. They don't mind throwing a game or 2. How long it took Peyton Manning to win the Super Bowl? His career was going there over.
Yeah, at the end.
It was pretty much over. And he was going to Super Bowl all the time. Shedeur, I mean, Peyton Manning and his brother Eli, they put up numbers and stuff, but they wasn't winning Super Bowls and stuff like that. They just played their role.
Wow.
They just played their role.
Well,
that's what it is. See, people silly.
I can't agree with that, Big Dog.
Like somebody talking down on Shedeur, he's silly. Because the reality is the NFL is a organization. It's not Shedeur's organization. It's not the Sanders organization. It's like when you go on a job, they're gonna hire you, they're gonna expect you to do a job. And if you can't do their job, they ain't gonna hire you, or they'll fire you, or you will never get promoted. You'll be like, why everybody else getting promoted? Somebody behind the scene kissing butt, doing a lot of other things. They doing what it takes to get to the top. Well, you think NFL ain't different? How you kiss butt in the NFL? By doing what they tell you to do. It ain't all talent. I'm gonna tell you. I used to say, there's some raggedy quarterbacks, but most of the good quarterbacks are what I call marksmen. You watch, what was that boy, Bryce Young? They showed it. I don't know, was you showed a clip? I saw a clip. He was just standing behind a net, at one of them Super Bowls, some of them the nets, and there was a wall in between them. He only missed one, and that because he rushed and turned away. He hit every last one of them nets. Boop, 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 boop. He just like Steph Curry can hit all them threes in a row. So you don't think he can miss one when he want to? Steph Curry can hit and miss. That's the level of professionalism he's at. He's just not hitting those shots by luck. Like you see the Lethal Shooter and all that stuff. Some of these guys' skill level way beyond your amateur mind.
Right.
That's why they're there. Steph Curry can hit 100 threes in a row if he want to. Or he can say hit 2, miss 1, hit 2, miss 2. He could do that in his control. It's quarterbacks like that. They can thread a needle, and they can make it look realistic when they miss a pass. They can do it. I doing that at one point could do it, and I wasn't even a quarterback. Because I played baseball as a pitcher. I got to the point I can put a ball where I want to. To this day, you put me on the football field, you would think I played college quarterback. Anybody tell you that? Anybody what? I can pick up a ball I ain't thrown in the years. I can go out there and I'll tell you behind up. You'll think I'm Peyton Manning because I had that much control over the ball. And I never played quarterback a day in my life, but I was a pitcher. I was a baseball player. A lot of these guys played baseball. You look at a lot of these quarterbacks, they played baseball. They was pitchers. They was shortstops. Russell Wilson, he was a professional baseball player. Yet we watched him in the Super Bowl with beast mode in the backfield. The game was over. On the goal line, throw the ball right into the man's chest, and he run it all the way down from the 1 yard line all the way in the Super Bowl. He threw it straight to him. It wasn't no route jump. It was no need to even throw the ball. You got beast mode in the backfield on the 1 yard line. All he do is run over folk. The game was already over. He stepped him through an interception on the goal line in the Super Bowl to the Patriots. Mr. Tom Brady. You remember with the Falcons? Oh, I know you the Falcons guy. You remember when we played?
I'm not. No, that's you. You the Falcons guy.
No, I'm saying you remember when we played Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? Falcons that year with Tom Brady was, one of his last years, and they was up on him like 22-3 or something like that. And then he made this miraculous comeback, and we watched the running back just step out of the way and watch the quarterback get hit, and then he miraculously fumbled it, and they just had this crazy just meltdown after they just pounding the Patriots. It looked like Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, woo, NFL production. Woo, they coming back. The great Brady. Guess what? I knew he was coming back. Because at that time,
so you saying that game was thrown too? It was thrown.
You watched it. He looked like the hero, like a movie. They were beating the mess out the Patriots. All of a sudden, they was missing blocks on purpose. Watching Freeman just step aside and watch the quarterback get hit, then he fumbled it at that time. They just ran the Falcons down. You might have wear this had pay-per-view Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan WrestleMania. I bet some people here in the chat believe that's real too. Speaking of Ric Flair, Charlo was with Ric Flair down there in Tampa. You saw that?
Yeah, I talked about that this morning and yesterday. I showed the video and I showed the video and the paper. But
what Ric Flair said, I used to be good friends with your dad.
Yeah.
Well, because Ric Flair used to live in Atlanta.
I know. For a long time.
Matter of fact, he must have just not too long left.
So let me ask you this. Let's get to Shedeur. Talk about Shedeur. This quarterback situation in the last 20 minutes. You think gonna get a fair shot? They're gonna judge it right if he performed better than Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel. If he performed better, and it's hard to say what is better when it comes down to the Cleveland Browns in training camp and the preseason. I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, would they play the best quarterback in their eyes or in our eyes? Look like our eyes ain't seeing what their eyes seeing so far. Or they just gonna stick with the script. They recognize Kenny Pickett as their first option. That's why they went out and trade for him. And they went and got Joe Flacco to bag him up. And Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel, they going to battle to see who go to the practice squad.
Well,
how you think they're going to turn out?
What script you talking about? Because,
it's so many scripts.
Let's talk about the main script. The main script is, what is the Cleveland Browns' role in the NFL as a whole? If you want to talk about a script, because that will determine the script that they play. Like, is the Cleveland Browns destined to be in the Super Bowl this year? It's a script. Then it already kind of be lined up, how they going to get to the Super Bowl if it's a script, right? So if that's the case, it wouldn't matter if they are destined. They're the team of destiny to go to the Super Bowl. Then they will determine what that script will look like. Who would be the quarterback? What would be the storyline? What dramatics would be? What would be kind of games would it be? A big throwdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 11th game of the season. Like, all of that is a script. So if that's not the case, if they're not part of the ultimate script, and the Baltimore Ravens is part of it, and the Bengals is part of it, whoever in the conference to get out of there and go to the Super Bowl, then that will say a lot in itself anyway. That will say, would it even matter? Because if they meant to be sorry, they might play all the quarterbacks like they do every year. He'll get out there, but he win a game or two, and then he'll just be mixed in with just a bunch of mess. The one quarterback played 3 games, the other one played 3-4 games, the other one played just like they practicing. And you get in there at some point, and they can say, oh, either he don't make that much difference, or look how he playing, he should be a star, and they say, oh well, it don't matter, the season over anyway. It's a lot of ways you can look at it.
Right.
Is that a fair chance? Maybe it is. Maybe that's considered a fair chance. He gets on the field, and at the 9th game of the year, after the rest of them stank it up, and then
9th game of the year.
Yeah, like you might put Flacco out there for the first 3 games, and then he pull a hamstring in his neck or something, because he old. What I'm saying? He might do something crazy like that. And then you put Pickett out there, and his name is Pickett, right? And he live up to his name, and he played 4-5 games as Pickett, and they just trying to force him in there. Shoot, that's 8 games right there. And then they might say, we want Shedeur. And that might be part of the script. We want Shedeur. Whoa, okay. And the Savior's coming, and he go win 3 games. They're like, see. And they be like, it don't matter. Y'all ain't gonna play off anyway. Lamar 10 butts up. The Bengals 10 butts up. Yeah, Pittsburgh even better than y'all. Y'all ain't going nowhere anyway. So go ahead and Shedeur. And then they say, well, he ain't even played enough games anyway. He just played the last 4-5 games and blah blah blah. And then he got that narrative. And in a sick way, let's go all the way to 6 since we here. Since y'all talking junk, we here. What if, since we say it's not about football, what if Shedeur being here is to keep the eyeballs on the NFL? Not him being on the field, just the whole drama, the storyline, the script. I mean, they did benefit from him being drafted in the 5th round. They said more people watched the draft. Right. In that little short in that time, because watch for him. Well, you using him as a sacrificial lamb, he ain't benefiting from it, but you is. Like slavery. What if I use him to my benefit? Why letting them know, hey, I'm still gonna get some about you, but I ain't paying you. So it's like one way or another, people gonna watch for Shedeur, the people who support him. So if that's a win, that's a win. At some point, he gonna get in. At some point, he gonna get in because the old boy gonna get a Charlie horse in his neck. The other
it's just hard for me to believe. It's just hard for me to believe, Greg, that the Cleveland Browns, as a professional NFL team, don't want to win. I just can't. I just don't get that. And you got the best quarterback in Shedeur. I'm a firm believer Shedeur gonna be QB1 day one. First game of the season. I just think they gonna roll out that win.
Assuming that the NFL is about winning. It's just like you saying every time Hogan go in the ring, everybody going against Hogan supposed to win.
I ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna compare to the.
Oh yeah, you can.
I ain't. Because I'm not. No, I said I'm not. I don't look at it like that.
But that's the problem. If you think that the guy gonna let Hogan slam him so he can lose, but he getting paid to be. You watch Ninja Turtles. You watch Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles
no, bro.
You think the little ninjas don't?
The NFL. I mean, if I'm gonna do that, Greg, why would I want to watch any game in the NFL?
You
if I knew they trying to do what wrestling doing. I'm not doing that. I don't believe that.
You go up against Tyson and you say, what they say, throw the fight, and you go out there and let Tyson knock you out in 3 seconds. You saying that never happened? You think all those fights were real? They weren't taking no falls? I heard about that as a kid in the 90s. So I know that it happens in sports. Yes, well, you may not want to see that, but wrestling is a sport. It's entertainment. Boxing is a sport. All of these are sports, and they just ain't leaving it up a chance. Like you talk about Vegas and all that. It's like, man, it's like magic. It's controlled. It's a controlled entity. So you're telling me that everybody who hit that field, everybody want to win, but that's not even true. In wrestling, somebody know they finna lose for Hulk Hogan to go to WrestleMania. It's destined for Hulk Hogan to be in WrestleMania, like Rocky. It's destined for him to be there. So the person who wrestling him, they got their whole thing laid out, their whole little choreography. Boom. He's slapping him and all that. Look like he beating him. Then he gonna get DDT. He gonna do the Hulk gonna do the move, whatever he do, and everybody gonna go like, yeah. He go, woo, 1, 2, 3, he like he's just so tired, man. And then they gonna go have cheeseburgers when they leave. They gonna go hang out together. They act like they hate each other in that wrestling ring. They be best friends. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. You know, somebody said this guy is about coaches. You know what's dumb about that? Coaches. Well, have you ever wondered how a coach can lose and get another job? You ever wondered that?
How's that?
No, I'm just saying. You ever wonder how this coach can stink up the Falcons, then he can get a job at Arizona Cardinals, and then it's like a principal at a school. It's like, how you stink up, but you get another job.
Right.
Like, you should be banned. You're stuck. You should be. They need to find you already, but you got a 27 and 800 coaching record, but you don't been coaching for 20 years. How you keep a job? How do you keep a job?
Right.
And so it's like, it's like, if that's the case, then a lot of these coaches should never have a job. Now what they'll do, they'll stank up the NFL, and then they'll go to college, and then they come back to the NFL, get another job. But I'm saying they always get a job. The same coaches are recycled. So it's like, I mean, how do you really, I'm just being real with you. I mean, I can't say it's right or wrong because it's their organization. That's how they run it. Now, if they deceiving people, you deceive, then your feelings hurt. My feelings not hurt. That's why people having a hissy fit hearing it. I've been knowing about it for a long time. I don't watch it like that. I never did. But I can watch it for what it is. See, the silly people who got a problem with it, they gonna go have a depression after their team lose. They gonna miss work the next 2 days when their team lose. I can't believe it. Not me. Not me. So it's like, that's the other side of it all. That's the other. And guess what? No NFL player ain't gonna really admit that to you. Most NFL players, that's at that level. I ain't saying everybody know what's going on all levels and like that. Some people just pawn. Some people just placeholders. But them people at the top, they know what's going on. They know. And it's like the rappers. It's like your favorite rapper who you let brainwash you. He know what's going on. They got all these terms. They're about Illuminati. They talking about all this, all that. They got these terms, cabal, all that. They know what's going on. Every now and then they'll let it slip out. They know what's going on. I mean, they getting paid very well to entertain you. A rapper will quick to tell you, say, I'm just entertainer. I'm just an entertainer. He's telling you all kinds of crazy crap. Mess your kids up. I'm just an entertainer. So they not bothered. They know what they're doing. So when you watch the game, you know it's just entertainment. It ain't all about talent. You think all these quarterbacks who ain't in the Super Bowl, how Pat Mahomes go to the Super Bowl 10 times in a row, Brady go to the Super Bowl 10 times in a row? They that much better than everybody else? Lamar Jackson ain't made it yet, have he? Lamar Jackson ain't made it yet, have he?
He ain't good at those guys, Greg.
Okay. That's what you say. They said
That's my opinion from what I've seen.
Okay, but they said Mahomes had his worst year last year. And what was he? We watched Peyton Manning we watched Peyton Manning his last year in the NFL, stiff as a board. His neck was fused together, and he went all the way to the Super Bowl at his oldest, most incompetent age. He walked all the way to the Super Bowl. That was their payback for all the years he was throwing the games.
Yeah, he did do that, bro.
He was walking around like Tin Man. He couldn't even turn his neck. He go all the way to the Super Bowl. All they had to do was blow on him. He would have fell apart.
Hey, I had to give you that one, dog. I got to give you that one.
Hit him for real. Done.
Yeah, he was still don't know what that is.
Y'all, you looking at it. You just ain't really think. Like it's like these guys can like Brady. Brady dominated for a long time. Did he win every time? No. But he Brady. You say it's the team. But you really paid attention. It was a lot of weird stuff going on, right? It's about inflating the balls, camera taking the signals. You got all this other weird stuff going on. You know.
Somebody said they received their box today. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. I did be using these rapper names on here, so I don't be knowing they are, but hey, welcome to the club.
But that rapper name.
Everybody, little drive by. They got little drive by. Like, no, my name is Thomas Carter, sir. Oh, that's you. That's you.
Oh, wow.
You know that BWatts. You know, that's the most rapper your name gonna be. They be creative with these names. Doggy dog. Like, I don't know what that is.
Hey, like Wild Dog, man. Who knew Wild Dog, man? BWatts. Hey, Wild Dog. BWatts, I sent you a cash app. I said, man, that person, I ain't seen no Wild Dog on that cash app. No, my name such and such.
My name is Julius Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who you. Okay, I put it together, and this time.
Oh boy,
that's like the football we talking about. That's how these football players be. They be like, I'm on the football field. I'm mad dog. You know what I'm saying? But when I go home at night, I'm just Courtney Parker. You know what I'm saying? So they got these. That's how they separate. That's how the rappers do. That's how they countries work. I'm just doing my job. That's just my alias. This is my alias. I did all that crazy stuff up under my alias. So my government name, when I go home and be my government name, I can sleep good at night. Split personality.
You're right.
Like Hulk Hogan. Yeah. That's not his name. We know Hulk Hogan. No. What is his name? Like Courtney or something? Like it's weird.
Hey,
it's
Courtney's
like
something. Yeah.
Shannon or something like that.
Yeah.
Go home and they can be, peaceful at night,
Boy. Man, you got anything else on this topic, bro?
Look. I just want you to know. This is conspiracy night. This is what it's all about. Collusion. I'm giving y'all. See, these people so weak. They thought I was gonna get them the same old conversation on what collusion looked like. You dealing with a organization, an ancient organization, the NFL, who's perfected their brand, their marketing. Go look at the little story on how the NFL had the little rolling cameras back then, with the little dusty images, and then they started doing commercials and they started adding all that other stuff over time, and how they built that brand. They built their brand like doggone McDonald's. Like, that's an entity, man. So anybody step into that, you can't threaten that, man. That's a machine. That's like Sony Records. You ain't finna take Sony down. That's Michael Jackson. You ain't finna take it down. So that's what the NFL is. And these boys better realize that. Don't go in there naive.
Yeah. But I hope that they do right by Shedeur, man. I know they my thing is the whole draft was about Coach Prime. That's just me. And ain't nobody gonna change my mind about it. They were sending a message to Coach Prime. And I believe Coach Prime know it, and them boys know it. And if you notice, Shedeur didn't go back to Texas when on his break. He stand out around. He keep going. That's just my take and my way of saying. I could be wrong, but
Well, check this out.
he see how they treated him, and he said it at the press conference. Shedeur stood up there at his first. Many of y'all ain't got no problem with me, cause when y'all see to me, y'all talk to me nice. It's really y'all got a problem with my dad, and that's why y'all treated me like that. He said that though.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. His dad. What's the difference between Shedeur and his dad? His dad know better. His dad is a alumni of the NFL. Shedeur trying to get there, so of course it's gonna be targeted at the dad because they's like you. It's like you in a secret society, man. You in a secret society. You can't go outside the secret society and you know let people know the secrets. You can't expose it. You taking these oaths, right? So it's consequences. They operate like that. They operate like that. You just got to look at it for what it is, man. It's a dangerous thing if these boys don't know what they really get into. It's a fraternal organization. That's what it is. They talk about the shield and all that. That's all it's ever been. That's all it's ever been. It's bigger than football. It's like, and it has evolved, man. Football and all the sports, really basketball, they don't got into some stuff way outside of football, man. They push some other stuff outside of that. So when they really got to be able to trust you, almost like you don't join a secret society, and they got to trust that you down with the cause, and you ain't gonna buck it, and you ain't gonna leak it. And so when they humble you, they humble Vic. Vic came back humble. So that means they basically expecting Shedeur to be humble. Why you keep hearing that term, humble him? Humble him. Where do you think that came from? Humble. He needs to be humble. Where did that come from? It ain't come from us. Who put that out there? Who keep putting that messaging out there? And little old people who think they're smart repeat it. So you start hearing everybody humble. He needs to be humble. What do you mean? What does that mean? Who need to humble who? That come from the top down. That's some fraternal stuff. If I don't know what it is, humble him. How do you humble somebody like them? You take their career, you take their money. They basically helped that man had them rappers that hang people over the building with their pants falling down, and they let them. All right, get them up. It's basically what they did. They like, we'll let you dangle for 3 days and almost look like your butt ain't gonna get drafted, and we'll draft you just to let you know we're in control. And by the way, you're behind going the way you said you weren't going. We're gonna let you know before you get up in here how we roll. That's some gangster stuff, man.
That's gangster. Hey, the way you tell it, yeah, it's gangster.
They gangsters. They some gangsters, man. They billionaires, they gangsters, man. They ain't playing about their business. They ain't gonna let you mess it up. They ain't gonna let nobody mess it up. And if they gonna pay you that big money, you better know you is on the payroll. You is not getting that big money like Vic thought and be your own man. I'm my own man. I feel how I want, do what I want. I gave you $300 million, 20 years in the NFL, half of it guaranteed. You think I'm paying you that because of football? Ain't that much football in the world. They're but finna be in some commercials. gonna be putting out messaging that is. Hey, say this and you better say it. Shoot, whole athletes now, whole politicians now. They everything now because they paid. Hey, all right, you the face. We done built your brand up here. You done paid you all this money, doggone it. and gave you this influence, and say it. Like Greg said, say it. And if you ain't showed that you ready to be that guy, then they ain't gonna be ready to give you that kind of influence and that kind of money. And that's what they did. They took away his influence. They didn't take his influence like what he bring, but they took away his NFL influence. They ain't finna put him on the field. They ain't finna pay him. Yeah, go take your Gatorade money from college, but we ain't finna give you a doggone thing at this NFL level. We're gonna rob you of your credibility. Your credibility gone. You're gonna be a has-been if we deal with you. How many guys they don't done like that? You really look at it, it's been a lot of guys who was like, they was a big deal in college. Now, some people talent don't go to the next level. Some people don't even get a shot. I don't care what nobody say. You gonna piss your pants with this. But they did to Tebow. They did it to Tebow. And he ain't black. And you know Tebow's biggest issue was?
Tebow ain't that good, though, Greg.
Shoot.
Christ?
It was Christ, but it was his morality. He wasn't finna throw them games. He's too... No, I don't do that. That's what the Christ did for him.
Yeah.
He was too... I'm not doing that. No, that's not who I am, right? You know, you have to have that in you where, hey, you answer to us, not God. You answer to us. We God.
Wow.
We God. Oh, we God. Yeah, I'm the closest. I say do it. You do it. Forget your moral. Forget your how you feel. I give you the 300, 200 million. You doing it. Forget your morals. Tebow was good. Tebow ain't nothing about Tebow. Y'all bought the Kool-Aid just like you buying the Kool-Aid about Shedeur. I ain't saying they the same type of player. I'm saying he was a winner. He was a winner in Little League, high school, he was state champion every year. College, he was doing the state champion every year. And they benched his butt in the NFL. Same way they did Shedeur. And he wasn't the first rounder. And they said, oh, he's not a quarterback. They started talking about his arm. We bought it, right? But they didn't say that we were kicking people butt down in Florida. We were tearing they behind up down there in Florida. SEC. They couldn't do nothing with Tebow. And he can run the ball. So that means he was a dual threat. He got in the NFL. They didn't give a man a shot. By the fact, before they got in, they started saying he ain't got no arm. He not this. Well, what he just did in SEC for all them years. Got him in there. They benched him. The quarterback got hurt. They were losing. Just like I said, it happened to Shedeur. They were losing. Tebow came in at the end of the season, went on the 5. I think they won 5 out of 6 games, something like that. Took them to the playoff. They weren't going to the playoff. They all of a sudden was Tebow mania, just like Shedeur. Tebow had that same thing. Tebow mania. Oh, we don't want all that hype in our locker room. Tebow had the same hype. It wasn't the gangster rap hype. It wasn't the gold chain hype, but they had their own hype. They had their own cult following. And Tebow took that doggone Broncos team from a losing record to the playoffs. And what they did the next year, brought in Peyton Manning and went to the Super Bowl.
He wasn't that good, Greg. Tebow wasn't that good to me, bro.
He was better than 10 man. He was better than 10 man Peyton Manning at the last. He was on the last limb.
Nah, I ain't never thought he had no good game. I ain't never thought Tebow had a good game.
I just told you the man went from winning. He took that losing team to the playoff. And what did he get for that? Just like I said, Shedeur can come in and win out the rest of the season for the Browns, and y'all benching him next year. Y'all have a fit. He came in and took the team. They were winning. We look for him being a starter next year, and they bring in somebody else, 10 man, an old man quarterback, can't even turn his neck. I heard he won the state. Could be wrong. I heard he won the state. I heard he was a phenom in college. I seen the documentary about Tebow. I heard he was a phenom. That's why they wanted him in Florida. I seen the documentary on him. Tebow was a phenom. And when he was a great person, he was a phenom down there. And they brought him to Florida, and Florida floors up on Tebow.
Wow. I ain't never been. I like him as a person, but for as a quarterback, he wasn't that good to me. He impressed me at
But
all.
it don't matter if he wasn't good. They say Shedeur ain't good.
I'm talking about what my eyes seen as a quarterback. I don't
Did
see
Tebow win the
Shedeur
Heisman?
good.
Did Tebow win the Heisman?
I understand how other
Did
people
he
may
win a
see him.
national
I'm talking about
championship?
how I saw him. I don't care what
But
he
people
won.
say
He wasn't that good. He just wasn't that good of a
but
quarterback.
that's what people say about Shedeur. Everybody got an opinion. People say
That's
Shedeur ain't good.
you see, Greg, I'm different. I don't repeat and go off what other people say. I go off what my eyes see. A lot of people say Shedeur ain't good, but from what I don't seen in 4 years, he been good. A lot of people say Tebow was good. From what my eyes seen, he ain't that good. A lot of people say
what I'm saying.
K Salter ain't no good passer, but what I see, K Salter that dog. What I see Juju, he's the same kind of quarterback as K Salter. That ain't what my eyes saying. Juju is a good pocket pass, but he ain't no two-way football player like my eyes see. So I can't go off what
that's your
nobody
eyes.
else.
So it's other people's eyes.
I'm just going off of what I see.
Right.
Tebow wasn't no good quarterback.
They're gonna say my
Right.
eyes.
And that's why I respect other people's opinions. Right. That's why you go with everybody else. That's why I respect everybody's opinion. That's the way they see it. But from what I see, Tebow wasn't that good. Tebow shouldn't have been drafted as no quarterback. That's my eyes see. He wasn't that good. He played with a good team. And in that conference, the SEC, the conference he was in, them teams just wasn't that good.
Shoot,
that was the pure
SEC back then. That was way more competitive back then.
They had to bag up players to get out there and get down.
Georgia was good. Alabama, all of them was good back then. It wasn't no 1 or 2 teams that's running. Every year they were alternating. Florida be winning 1 year. Georgia, matter of fact, Georgia was struggling to win back then. It was Alabama, Florida, Auburn stepped in a little bit. You know, they kind of rotated a little bit back then. Now, you know, in our last decade, we seen Alabama kind of took over and they just whooping everybody every year. Then Georgia snuck in, and we got used to them one teams taking over. But back then, you know, it was a competitive real round.
They're gonna answer right there. Yep. When Tebow was playing, that was the man right there. Percy Harvin. He was the man. He was the best athlete in the conference.
That's equivalent.
He was a Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter.
Exactly. That's the equivalent of you saying that's why they came out with a narrative. That's why Shedeur didn't get the Heisman, because he's nothing without Travis Hunter. What you just said is the equivalent of people robbing. They say if Shedeur didn't have Travis Hunter, he'd be nobody. That's what the narrative.
Travis had to do it. He would, and that thing go now. That would have went both ways. If Travis hadn't had to do it, he wouldn't have won the Heisman. But Percy Harvin.
Yeah, that wasn't the narrative. The narrative was that, you know, I ain't never hear it until the end. Of course, they came out about 100 different narratives against Shedeur towards the end. But, you know, yeah, they were saying, yeah, you know, reason why we ain't get Shedeur the Heisman, the reason why he ain't a first round pick, you know, they were saying that. They started saying that. And it went for Travis Hunter. And clearly Shedeur put how many receivers in the NFL? Clearly Shedeur spread the ball around enough where it just wasn't Travis Hunter. You know, but that was the narrative, because people can run their mouth and say what they want. People can see what they want to see. You know, people can do that. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. That's why I compared it to a Tebow. Because, you know, either people loved him or hated him. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with Shedeur. They loved it or hated him. They either significantly made him really great, or they just minimize him and say he was nothing. It was the players around him. How would you say that about a guy? Yeah. You know, just like Shedeur won a Heisman. They say, well, you know, if he didn't have Travis Hunter, you know, it's like, come on, man. That's why they didn't want to put both of them in the Heisman race when they should have been. Because Shedeur was the best quarterback, right? He won the number one quarterback award. Well, show me anybody else who was the number one quarterback who won in the Heisman race. If you're the best in your position, but you got 2 other quarterbacks there, but you're the best one, how are they both on the Heisman top 4? And you won the best quarterback, but it's 2 of them. It's not one quarterback. There's one thing they said Cam Ward up there. He the number 2 quarterback. But how do you justify putting 2 quarterbacks up there and Shedeur wasn't even there and he won the Golden Arm Award?
Right, I agree.
So that's the collusion. The collusion, they were showing you the collusion way before the draft. They was already showing you the signs. The whole year they did not want to put that man on any watch list for the Heisman. They made up their mind before the season started. I remember. So when you think about it, it's like they was already in the game. It was already there. I mean, when I see something like this, I think about what they say about Shedeur and Travis. You're gonna minimize what Shedeur do by saying Travis made you look better than what you are. You're nothing without Travis. Matter of fact, Travis, that's why you recruited Travis and brought him from Jackson State with you. And you will never know because they played together 3 years. Now they are knowing what he did before Travis. So it's like I think people have their favorites.
And another thing, I ain't mean to cut you. I'm sorry. Another thing, I guess that's the reason why they didn't honor what he did at Jackson State either as a quarterback, because Travis was injured. I think one of his best years down there, other than that last year.
Yeah, I mean Travis, he really did 2 years really without Travis. Travis hurt, but that's a whole nother conversation with Jackson State. Jackson State issue.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, it's twofold. Jackson State was mad at Coach Prime because he was trying to change stuff down there. He got him out of them classics that was historic. He was trying to say, don't go play in these big games. They just robbing y'all, And he's like, who is he messing with our tradition? He was messing with their tradition with the same skin color and all for the colorists. Matter of fact, they was on him harder. I was more afraid for him there in the SWAT. The whole SWAT turned on him. He had to make a whole rap song. Who is SWAT? If I ain't SWAT. The coaches didn't even come support him in the Celebration Bowl. The other team, all the coaches on the sideline with, what was it, South Carolina State that last year. They come all to support each other. Nobody from the SWAT came to support Coach Prime. They signed Coach Prime in the SWAT. So that was his issue there. Then you got, he made the powers that be mad trying to help the people who didn't want to be helped. He couldn't win. I'm getting in trouble for y'all, and y'all don't even like me. He said, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for the HBCUs, and y'all mad about how I'm doing it. So, yeah, they didn't acknowledge crap he did. They didn't even acknowledge the field, the doggone turf field he put down there where they were playing on the roller coaster field. All them years, running on the field, they're going up and down, up and down, up and down on the field with ant beds and crap on it. Track don't deteriorate it. Man don't put a whole new football field, a whole new track, a whole new lounge, weight room upgraded, locker room upgraded. He don't got Walmart. He don't use some of his money. He did all that. And they like, man, forget you. We mad at you. So that right there, man.
Wow. That is something.
He lost a lot of credibility with the NFL starting there. Coach Prime started, getting up on the NFL skin way back then. It didn't profit him nothing because he was calling them out for not recruiting the HBCU players. When Houston and all them boys went up there and they were going in the 7th round and free agent and stuff like that, James Houston. Okay. But Houston didn't get drafted. I think the one that went to the Patriots, Bolden. I think he the only one that got drafted. And Coach Prime was mad about that.
I think so too, Greg. I think you're right about that. Yeah. Matter of fact, I know you're right.
So this ain't that new. So
all right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Better jump out this time. We don't went over 15 minutes time. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, watching Sports Talk with BWatts, along with Greg Said It, talking about was the NFL collusion behind Shedeur Sanders draft slide during the draft process. And want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight for your support. We appreciate each and one of you. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow night. All right. Greg, give us your last word. We out of here, bro. And I appreciate you tonight, man.
Yeah, we just had to tell the truth tonight, man. So we won't be confused on what we see. We hope all is well with Shedeur, but you better know what kind of organization he involved in. They quit being naive and being childish. It's not a kiddie game, man. The NFL is not a kiddie game. This is a real thing that he's dealing with, and you want the best for him. You better pray for him, and his eyes better be wide open. Because it's gonna be an interesting thing for him, and I saw it from day one. So we're gonna be watching this thing. Y'all check out Greg. Greg said it. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna tell the truth. He ain't gonna intimidate me from saying it. Because boy, this August gonna be interesting. I'm gonna let y'all know now. So we'll be on the watch.
All right, that's Greg Said It. Don't forget to go over there and follow Greg Said It on his YouTube page, on his social media page. That's Greg Said It. All right, brother. Appreciate you tonight, man. Until next Thursday, man, you and your family stay blessed, bro.
All right, have a good one.
All right, bro.